Clemson has some work to do. Now, if you watch this game and you watch Troy's defense in this game, their safeties on first and second down were playing about 8 to 10 yards deep. Why would they do that? They were literally daring Clemson to try to throw it over their head. They were not respecting the deep ball. They didn't respect anything over the top for the most part. They said, you know what, we're going to just tee off, and we believe our pass rush can get home and affect Kade Clubnick, so you're not going to have time to let those downfield routes develop. That's basically what Troy said. By watching the Clemson Tigers in week 1 against LSU, Troy said, you know what, here's our recipe. They're not going to be able to throw it over our head because we think we can get home. We think our pressure, we think our aggressiveness, they can get home. So, hey, don't worry about the deep ball. We'll just play those safeties deep. We'll get them involved in the run game, and we'll put all the pressure on Kade Clubnick in the passing attack to see if they can hold up long enough in protection to allow guys to open up downfield. And guess what? It worked pretty well there for an early portion of that game. Let's talk about Kade Clubnick. He's clearly uncomfortable right now, okay? And this is a guy that I think was so good last year and so decisive last year, so accurate last year. There were a few times in this game where the protection is actually pretty good. It's held up, and guys are trying to work their routes downfield, and he's leaving the pocket when he doesn't need to. He's actually making the integrity of the protection worse by getting on the move. He's rolling into trouble, as we say, and that's not a good sign for a guy that is now in year 3 as a starting quarterback. There were a handful of guys that were open, especially in the first half, and there were just misses. There were throws where he wasn't on the same page with the wide receiver. There were guys that see zone coverage and they're stopping like they should. He's anticipating them staying on the move. He throws the balls inside, about to be a blow up if the receiver were to run to where Kade Clubnick was throwing. He just missed them. So he's got to get on the same page with his wide receivers, because those guys at times were not anticipating where he was throwing, and he was not anticipating them sitting where they sat. So that's something that's got to get cleaned up for a guy who's played a lot of football. And with all the weapons back, it's not like these guys are new. It's not like these are freshmen. It's not like these guys haven't played together before in difficult circumstances. You also have a situation where just the next level accuracy just needs to improve as well. I mean, guy, for example, is running a screen. They're in the red zone, and the throw is low, so the guy's got to drop to a knee. So what would have been a touchdown in now a 2-yard loss. And if you look at the second half, much better. Much, much better. So here's hoping things can get cleaned up a little bit. Okay. I really liked, for example, the throws, a 3rd and 3, a touchdown over the top. Like, it's a great play. Maybe it's just that one play that can settle things down. Just settle things down completely. Things are moving a little bit too quickly for Kade Clubnick, and here's hoping things will settle down. As far as Adam Randall and the experiment that they have now going as a starting running back, I mean, he's just not a real natural running back, and that's okay. I think he can be a power back. I think he can be a piece for him for sure. But if you look at him in this game, his lack of reps, and I'm talking reps dating back to a lot of these times, these running backs now in college football, I mean, they've been carrying the football between the tackles for 10, 12 years. These guys start playing running back at 8 years old, and at 21, like, they're in good shape. Well, you can just tell in this game there were a few holes there that were open, and there were a few holes there that I think Will Shipley would have hit, that Travis Etienne would have hit, that Phil Maffa would have hit. And because of Adam Randall's newness at the position, he didn't hit him quite quickly enough. He didn't quite set up the blocker quickly enough. He might have hit it a little too hard, and he's got to have a little bit of savvy to just kind of let that thing open up. Just hesitate just a hair, and then boom, accelerate through the hole. He's just not outrageously quick laterally, so he's got to make sure that he has some patience in the run game. Here's the thing that's worrying me most about Clemson is the team is giving me some 2021 vibes a little bit. Remember that game, 2021, they lose a super physical game against Georgia in week 1. That Georgia team, remember, in 21, went on to win the national championship, one of the most talented teams in the country. And they kind of shell-shocked Clemson there in week 1. They lost that game 10-3. DJ Uiagalelei never really found his vibes again after that. He was kind of all over the place there for a few weeks. They ended up going and winning 10 games that year. So, I mean, like, a bad year for Clemson is a 10-win season. But you look at how many dogfights they had in 2021. They lost to NC State, they lost to Pitt, but they had a handful of games where it was like every game was a complete dogfight. This team is kind of feeling like that right now. I think there's a higher ceiling in there. I believe in Kade Clubnick. I believe in their weaponry offensively. I love their wide receivers. I didn't think they did a great job in this game uncovering on a few different occasions. I just want to see them play up to their potential, and we have not seen it yet in the first 2 weeks. I'm hoping it's in there. I hope that it's a team that has a higher ceiling than what we've witnessed so far. I think they're great on defense, but right now the offense just seems a little bit shell-shocked. So here's hoping that the second half performance against Troy, where they really played much more efficient football, that's what we will come to see from them as the season continues on.